Please bring me the one and only Kesha.
Yay!
Here she is. Hi, Kesha.
Hi,
Thank
buddy.
you for coming in. Thank you for coming in.
Gosh.
Have
Thanks
a
for having
seat.
me.
Danielle,
Hi.
Bethany.
How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Well, you better be. You have every reason. Well, not just this, but I mean, you have every reason in the world to be so excited. The world is yours.
No, I know. I couldn't stop going from uncontrollable, happy, giddiness, couldn't sleep to crying, happy tears, all the emotions and feelings.
What's been going on, Kesha?
Nothing.
Why so emotional?
Super casual. I just didn't know if I was ever going to be able to put out music ever again. I really didn't know. And some days it felt like I was kind of clinging onto this ghost of an idea that got me through a lot of years. It wasn't days, it wasn't months, it was years. And, sometimes it felt more real, sometimes it felt less real. And I kept waking up and I'd say, okay, you can't just lay in bed. You got to get up, you got to go to the studio. And even when I really didn't want to, I would. And it's kind of a testament to you got to show up for yourself.
That's 100% what it is. That's the headline. You know what they say? Sometimes you got to get lost to find yourself.
Yeah.
And another thing is honesty in music. Gosh, look at all the material you have to write about. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not laughing about anything. I'm just saying, gosh, you know what? Look at all this as fantastic opportunity to just expose yourself, not only to your fans, but to yourself. And here we go.
And in praying, I swear, you feel the pain in the beginning, and then you feel this release in the song as well. It's incredible. You get goosebumps when you listen to it.
Thank you. That's like when I listen to music, when I get goosebumps listening to other music, that's when I know I'm oh, this is going to be a heavy rotation for me. Yeah. But unlike you guys, I'm not hip and cool and don't know what's on the radio.
Stop.
I really have no idea what's the new cool stuff. But when I listen to old music, old Alice Cooper records or old Iggy Pop records, the stuff that gives me the goosebumps, then I know that's channeled by some otherworldly stuff. Yeah. That's when I know it's it came through a person.
So Kesha, let me tell you. So many times we have artists come through these doors and, we'll play your new song. Okay, here's your new song. Great. And it's a great song and it's a hit, whatever. But when we know the story behind the story, it makes your music, it makes your art worth 1 billion times more. I mean, we know, or we assume we know what some of the messaging is in your music. We know where the emotion comes from. And as awful or great as the past couple of years have been, highs and lows, whatever, you know what? It's done. Now it's time to move on. And the music is reflecting an honesty that is just refreshing. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Well, I think that I've always been a songwriter, and my mom's actually here. Right there.
Come in.
No. She'll talk a lot.
Come in, Mom. Come in.
No.
Come in. Don't listen
She
to
won't
her.
stop talking.
No, we love your
trust me.
mom. You come in.
Okay, go over there, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Yay. Kesha's mom's in the house. You love your mom.
Well, she's a songwriter, too, and she taught me how to write songs. So she was the one when I was a little kid and I was at school being bullied and all these things. She was just write songs about it. Because I didn't know how to cope with all these emotions I was feeling. I was a sensitive little kid. And so she was just write songs. So that's what I started doing, as young as I can remember.
So your mother taught you about writing about honest things.
Yeah. And I remember one of the first pieces of advice you gave me is, people can tell if it's not true. So just write the truth. And that will always be better than any other story you can make up. Just tell the truth.
Look, the truth isn't always fun, but the truth is the truth. And you know what? We have these things that happen in our lives, awful, awful things that happen in our lives. We just got to find a way to get through it. Some days are great. Some days are okay. Today's a fantastic day. I love what you're wearing, by the way.
Thank you. It's a nudie suit.
If we could be, exactly. If we can be superficial, let's talk about how beautiful Kesha is today.
It's gorgeous. Sparkly, which I like.
Well, thank you. I mean, on a superficial level, I'm feeling pretty good too. Because because I met my hero, Bob Dylan. So there's my mom who taught me to write honest songs, right?
Right. Oh, here's her hat.
It doesn't really fit. The cowboy hat.
I really tried to force this hat on this morning, and it really just kind of
Let's see.
It poops up.
No, I like that. It's a little tiny hat.
Yeah.
But
It's great for holding.
You know, it's a prop.
I have a lot of hair. I don't know.
It's more of a prop. All right, so you met Bob Dylan.
So I met Bob Dylan, and this was like a moment in time I've been waiting for forever, like forever, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, like, not once, but like 3 times, he was like, you know how to dress. You know how to dress. You know how to dress. So then when I see myself on those like worst dress lists all the time, I just give it the finger and I'm like, Bob Dylan thinks I look good.
Yeah.
I really could care less, but like,
who else's opinion do you need?
Right.
like 0 people.
Look, we've all been on the worst dress list before. I thought it was an honor.
Yeah.
It's kind of a goal.
I know, yay! I didn't get on a worst dress list today. I really failed. I totally failed. All right, let's talk about, speaking about being honest in music, there's a song of yours out that which one is this, Gary?
This is the one that we can't play.
It has the F word in it. But
like 100
But
times.
you know how radio, it has the F word in it like 100 times.
Yeah.
But in radio, we have these rules we must follow. So they come up with an edited version.
Yes.
Which ruins the art. It
can, yes.
I'd rather not play it. This is how mad I am. Hold on a second.
I like much prefer the.
I thought they should put a cuckoo and they're like, I'm a mother.
Oh, that's cute.
No, it's not cute. Here's my point. If you're an artist and you paint a painting of whatever, then someone comes in and goes, no, we don't know the artist, but we got to move that mountain over here and that house over there. They mess with your art. That's why I would rather not play it if it doesn't have the original angst of the F word.
Well, so censorship is a funny thing because sometimes if you want a song to be on the radio, you have to play the censorship game, which I get it. I've played that game before. You've
been around for a while.
Yeah, I've played the game. But on this record, I really just didn't want any boundaries on anything. And I was like, I'm going to write songs that if I want to say the F word, because I know we're live. Look how good I'm being, by the way.
Very good, Kesha.
I'm going to just say it and the people that don't want to listen to that one can skip it if they're offended by the F word. But it's a super empowering song about being a mother effing woman and how you're good without a man and how you can buy your own things and
exactly.
like you're good and you're self-sufficient. And it was meant to be like kind of a feminist empowerment anthem. That's what I wrote it for. And so to me, the fact that there is a bad word in it, yes, there is. And I say it lots and lots and lots and lots of times. But it is with good intention. And I think it always comes back to intention. For me, it always comes back to intention. And this record has the best of intentions. All I want to do is make people feel good, feel empowered, and then also tell my truths. And I didn't want to be stuck in any sort of box. Like, I can't say this word, so I'm going to replace it with a word that doesn't
that's my point,
capture
Kesha.
my wild feeling.
But this is my
much.
point. The song suffers, the art suffers because of censorship. And it makes me mad when I heard that version of beep and hoo-hoo when you should be saying effing.
Yeah.
Well, on this show, you can't say that.
No.
Well, what we can
word.
do is this. We can encourage everyone to,
We can just yell it.
download the album, buy the album.
I like just yelling it.
We can all just yell it at the count of 3. No, so
Turn the mics off and scream it.
No.
but
Okay, I tell you what. We have the dump button. See this button says dump?
yeah.
So we could essentially, in this room, have like a kumbaya moment and just scream the F word out, laugh about it, then hit the dump button, and then people listening will know we said it and feel good about it, but they won't hear it.
Let's do it.
My mom's laughing maniacally.
Okay. So how many people are in this room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Everybody's got to yell it though.
Okay. At the count of 3, everyone in the room, and you're listening, you're not going to hear it, but you'll hear us laughing
But
after we do
you
it.
know what we're saying, and you know
Right.
we're having a
It does-
naughty, fun
well, hold on a second.
time.
This button does work, right?
Yes. You have 30 seconds.
I hope it doesn't.
Okay, this is for Kesha.
Okay.
The F word at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I know, but the fact that we have to do that just pisses me off. Can we say pisses?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All I'm gonna let you take the lead on the naughty words. I always get like a talking to before these interviews. They're like, okay, so this word, no, this word only if it's with this word.
Exactly.
This word, and I'm like, okay.
Did you know one time we had our company had a room full of overpaid attorneys sitting around a table for 3 hours because I said the word. I talked about my titties on the air. Okay.
Are we allowed to say that word?
Well, they realized, they said, you can talk about men's, but you can't talk about women's.
That's so strange because I was talking with a man and I was like, oh, you're topless. That's so unfair. And he's like, I'm not topless. And I was like, yes, your top is off, so you're technically topless. And he was like, that's so strange. And I was like, no, it's actually just correct. You're topless.
Why do we get so caught up in these?
Just nipples. Nipples in general.
Okay,
they're a whole different can of worms.
We can talk about nipples all we want. Yes. All right, okay, so it's sort of an uncomfortable moment, but let's bring it up anyway. The iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming up in September in Las Vegas. We're about to make the announcement. We would be honored, Kesha, if you would announce the lineup for the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Would you do that? We have a list. We'll all be a part of it. But the thing is that could be uncomfortable is if you're not on the list, it seems like it could be an uncomfortable moment. We don't know if you're on the list yet. Don't say anything if you are, but don't say anything if you're not.
I actually don't know if I am.
So we're going to open the envelope. And with Kesha coming up,
you might have to use that dump button if I'm not on that list.
All right, well, we'll see. Let's pray to God she's on the list. Kesha, we are announcing the iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup right after this. We'll be right back. Kesha is here.
Hello.
Right there. By the way, the single Praying, we're going to play that in a second.
Thanks.
And I want to read something you wrote about that.
Okay.
The album is going to come out August 11th. It's called Rainbow. You can pre-order that as we speak.
Yeah. Nice.
If you're not pre-ordering Rainbow from Kesha now,
then what are you doing?
Hello?
What is everything?
What is? Yeah, stop questioning.
Make sure you get the one with the little E's.
Explicit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's be as explicit as possible. Yeah. That's our point today.
I mean, unless you don't want that one. But like...
That's the raw emotion.
I've had a couple of friends be like, oh man, I accidentally got the one with the little C's because they look very similar. So get the little E's.
Then you can sell twice as many albums. By the way, Praying, I'm quoting Kesha, Praying, my first single in almost 4 years, comes out today when it came out. I have channeled my feelings of severe hopelessness and depression. I've overcome obstacles, and I've found strength in myself even when I felt it out of reach. I've found what I had thought was an unobtainable place of peace. This song is about coming to feel empathy for someone else, even if they hurt you or scare you. It's a song about learning to be proud of the person you are, even during your low moments when you're alone. It's also about hoping everyone, even someone who hurt you, can heal. And you go on to talk about how you never really thought you were abandoned by your fans or your animals or your friends. Yeah. And even when you were taking a nap with your kitties.
Yeah.
You still were in this place.
Yeah, I mean, on occasion, anybody that has struggled with like hard times or depression or whatever you want to call it, will know the feeling is just like even your favorite things in the world, whatever that may be. And for me, it's animals. I have like tattoos of animals all over my body, and I'm obsessed with my cats. It's like, oh, that's on my Instagram. But even sometimes I'd like look at them and be like, "You're so cute," but like I'm still sad. And then I would feel horrible about that, like this like guilt that even the cutest kitties in the world wouldn't like bring me out of that sad place. But so I just had to like, I spent years working on myself, and honestly, a lot of working on myself was in the music. It was really like therapy, because I would find what was the hardest thing I could possibly find to say. And the thing that I like didn't want it to be true, or I didn't want to say, and it would just bring me to tears to even think about saying it out loud in a room full of like co-writers or whatever. And that's when I knew like that's the very thing I have to say. That's the very thing I have to sing. Or in Praying, like there's a note that's super, super high at the end. And I was like, I've never even tried to hit a note that high. And I was like, and then I knew I had to at least try, and it took me a couple times. Not gonna lie to you, I didn't get on the first try,
but you got it.
But I got it, and I think that was just like it was just proving to myself, like, I'm worthy, I'm enough, like, I'm worthy of love, like, just, just positive things that as you grow up, as you grow into an adult, it's just like, you start teaching yourself these lessons.
Two things, Kesha. Number one, there's good news about depression. People are talking about it now. It used to be depression.
Oh, it's so taboo. I get it.
But now people are talking about it. And,
Yeah.
and now more and more people are able to like try to work with it, try to make it happen. Secondly, I don't know what the second thing was. I just had a brain fart. But
That's okay.
There's something that stuck out to me is saying the thing that is the hardest thing to say. I think there are so many people who are going through really dark times right now, and it is that one thing that you don't want to look at, that it could maybe be that bad, but you're saying if you dare to look at it and to say it out loud, then you can start to heal from it.
And you start to heal and like uncovering something. You're like, oh, and then the healing process is like, oh, and then I start to feel more like, so for me, Rainbow, the reason I wanted to name this record Rainbow, and there's like a lot of bright imagery, is because I kind of associate healing with kind of going back to my childlike mind, because it's like before it got all twisted and turned and beaten and heartbroken and all those things. Just when everything was magical and I didn't understand it and the world was so big and beautiful and I trusted everyone and everything and it was just so perfect and wonderful, right? So you're like this little kid. And so I kind of like have done a lot of healing, and even in some of the lyrics in songs that y'all haven't heard yet, but hopefully soon on August 11th, you'll hear it. But I kind of reference that a lot, is what's left in my heart is still made of gold, You heal what you can and then and keep going.
text message just came through, and I just remembered my second thing, by the way. Text message, Kesha's music changed my life. It always changes my life just as it's released. I've always needed that. You know what? Looking back at your wearing furs and being TikTok to today, when people are actually saying, Kesha...
Fake furs, never real fur.
Of course. Sorry. but I mean, more and more people are using the term role model in describing your music now. Is that a good thing for you? Is that a pressure that you can hold on to?
You know what? Super weird. When I first started writing Animal, my first record, I was just writing songs being like, I don't know what I'm doing. And not that I know what I'm doing now on any level, but I definitely felt like pressures and people got upset about things that I wouldn't think they'd get upset about. And then it really got in my head. And then there was this anxiety creeping in, and then some depression and couldn't sleep and just all this stuff. And then I just needed, to kind of get with myself and be like, who are you? Who do you want to be? Who's the best version of who you actually want to be, minus what anybody else thinks. And that's why I'm excited about this record, is I listened to my idols' records and I dared to dip my toes in those waters sonically. So I totally don't remember your question.
The question is there a pressure in when someone describes you as a role model?
Oh, well, so now
you sort of answered it in a way, but go ahead.
Yeah, but so now I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable now that I've looked at myself and I've done some healing, and I feel like I've grown up a little bit, in a good way, but I still remain very childlike in a good way. I always tell people, don't grow up, it's a trap also.
Right.
Don't fully grow up, because that's just...
Was that advice you got from your mom?
No, that advice I got on a wall in Berlin.
Okay.
I was like, that's
when in doubt,
good.
read the bathroom wall.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, that's really good advice. But I do think that I don't know, I want to spread good vibes. So if that's the role I'm in now, and if this song is helping people heal, then I like that. I don't think everything I do is going to be perfect or flawless, if that's who you mean. So role model is it's kind of heavy, but I definitely would love to help people if they can relate. Then I love if they relate to my music, if I can help them, then that's beautiful.
Excellent. Kesha's here, by the way. If you're just turning this on, yes, it is Kesha.
Hello.
Perfect is flawed, by the way. In this envelope,
Oh no.
the iHeartRadio Music Festival, Las Vegas. I think other stations have already announced it. We're the last ones to announce it.
Let's go.
Well, I'd rather talk to you. I mean, they're going to get this information
It's fun.
anyway. Here's your list. If you need help with any of these, Let me know.
Oh, all right.
Okay, hold on.
I haven't seen this yet.
All right, here we go. No one has.
Okay.
The 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival. As you know, every September we gather in Las Vegas.
I did this one time.
2 nights, over 20 superstar artists on one stage. Look, it says right here, I'm Elvis Duran.
You are sure? You sure are.
At iHeartRadio, we love music. We live music. I'm reading what they said. Let's just get to the announcement. It's September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Here we go. This year live on one stage, presented by our marquee partner, Capital One.
Yeah!
Kesha, please tell us who's at the iHeartRadio Music Festival
This
this
is a
year.
good little bunch, y'all.
All right, who do we have? I'm
Okay,
excited.
just Coldplay.
Okay.
The Weeknd. DJ Khaled. Chris Stapleton.
Music from all genres.
Yeah, I know. I love this so far. We're not even close to the middle. Okay, Lord.
Nice.
Kings of Leon.
Excellent.
Big Sean. Pink.
Nice.
Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Right.
Niall Horan.
Right.
David Guetta.
Okay.
Thomas Rhett.
Right.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. We got Harry Styles.
Wow.
And finally,
And special guest. Am I supposed to read that part?
yes,
Kesha.
Kesha. Oh, thank God you're invited. I'm
starting to get nervous. It was like The Bachelorette, which I only watched for the first time last night. It's like the last person.
So listen to that. Kesha announced it. Coldplay, The Weeknd, DJ Khaled, Chris Stapleton, Lord, Kings of Leon, Big Sean, Pink, Miley Cyrus, 30 Seconds to Mars, Niall Horan, David Guetta, Thomas Rhett, Harry Styles, and of course, Kesha.
Yay!
This is gonna be a lot of
Thanks for
fun.
having me.
Well, thanks for being had.
That's very exciting.
Let me give you the information. You don't want to miss out. Be the first to get your tickets during this exclusive Capital One cardholder pre-sale starting next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Ticket supplies are limited, so grab your Capital One card and visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to purchase your tickets before they run out. As announced by the one and only Kesha, we could not be more excited.
Thanks for having me.
But even more exciting than that, the album, Rainbow,
Yeah.
August 11th. You can pre-purchase right now, so do it. Kesha, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, you guys.
We're going to take a break. Coming back, we've got to play Praying, the song that really has kicked off this album and a whole new world for you and us, your fans, Kesha. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Kesha,
Love you
everyone.
guys.